You're listening to Fantasia The Talkshow. This is a YouTube exclusive. I'm with the writer and director of Bliss, Joe Begos. Thank you for being with us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Is it your first time at Fantasia?
It is.
Yeah.
I've wanted to come for a long time, and I finally made a movie that can play the summer festival circuit.
So what are you expecting for the Fantasia crowd? You expect a lot of reaction tonight?
I hope so. Everybody's telling me that they're rowdy as hell and awesome, and I made the right kind of movie for the crowd.
Yeah,
so
I think
I'm
it's going
excited
to
to check it out.
with it. So, please, for the people at home, can you resume your film? What is it about?
It's about a struggling artist in Los Angeles. She's a painter, and she's been paid in advance, and she's got a hard deadline, and she can't paint anything. She's like got painter's block, I guess, so to speak. And she starts turning to anything she can. Her agent drops her, so she tries this experimental new drug that's like a mix of DMT and cocaine.
Bliss.
Yeah, and she takes it at a party where she also may or may not have been involved in a threesome where she's bit by a vampire.
That's a great party.
Yeah, so she basically starts painting, but she's also thirsting more of this hallucinatory drug and blood, and she doesn't know why. So it becomes kind of this hallucinatory descent into hell and like the underbelly of Los Angeles.
Was it a way for you to tackle the creativity and?
Yeah, it was actually exactly what I was going through because
you were having a writer's block, right?
Yeah, well, I was writing stuff, but none of it was selling, and like my agents weren't doing anything, and then they dropped me, and I couldn't get a movie made. And I wanted to. I've always wanted to make a movie about an artist in Los Angeles, like very Clive Barker-esque. And I decided that, you know what, I'm just going to throw this all on screen and do like a really tiny movie again. But I made her a painter because that's a little more appealing visually than, a dude sitting there typing a fucking script on his...
Yeah.
Sorry, can I swear?
Oh yeah, it's YouTube. You can do whatever.
Okay. Sitting there typing on his laptop. So I made it a painter, and we had like a really great painter come in and do it. So it was very much a personal story, but I flipped it, made it a female and made her a painter. And also, I unfortunately was not bit by a vampire during a threesome.
No.
So.
Was it a way to to mix it up, to do a modern version of vampire?
Yeah, I like taking kind of tropes and or horror genres that are done a lot and doing something weird to them. Like I had made an alien abduction movie before, but I made it like an alien abduction slasher.
Yeah, with gore and everything.
Yeah, so I didn't intend for this to be a vampire movie. I actually just wanted it to be a crazy hallucinatory drug trip movie, kind of very Gaspar Noé influence. But then it just became a vampire movie because that's how I think, and I think it works a lot cooler like that. So,
yeah.
And that's the thing with vampires now is like they're so I made a very conscious choice not to go into vampire lore. Like there's no fangs, there's mirrors everywhere. Everybody can see themselves in mirrors. So I wanted to make something that was a vampire movie, but was very explicitly different than what's out there. I'm a big fan of like Habit and Abel Ferrara's The Addiction. So I wanted to make something very real like that, and I shot it on 16 millimeters. So it's super.
Why is that? Why that?
I just always wanted to shoot a movie on 16 millimeter. I just love the aesthetic and the way that it looks. And because Bliss was a lower budget movie than my last one, much lower budget, I wanted to basically tackle things in it that I hadn't been able to do before. It's like if I'm going to make a smaller movie, I need to make it interesting. So I'm gonna take the way that I make the story. I'm going to do a completely different kind of story, a completely different kind of style of movie, and I'm going to shoot on film because no matter what, at least it'll elevate it, it'll stick out there. So even though we had a smaller budget, I pushed to make it kind of an evolution in my filmmaking.
Is it that why you use a lot of color? You wanted to get as far as possible as the gothic vampire image that we have in there?
I'm very drawn to that aesthetic. That's what my apartment looks like. I don't have regular lights in
you have black light in your apartment?
Yeah, it's all just green and blue. I love lighting frames. That's why I always make movies that take place at night. I just love lighting frames from black, and then you kind of pick in there as opposed to having like a really overabundance of frames of a brightness in frames and sun-drenched stuff. So making a vampire movie that takes place at night, I want it to be the dingiest thing I've done. So a lot of my movies have that kind of color of lighting, but with this I wanted to just even push it more into that direction just because of the hallucinatory vibe of the movie too.
It's almost like a retro feel, like you feel a little bit of the 80s influence in the imagery.
Yeah, it's very Argento meets Gaspar Noé, kind of with a little bit with a Nick Refn, I guess. As far as
I thought about Drive when I
goes.
saw the trailer. When she's riding in the city, I thought about Drive. That was one of the inspiration, or?
Not like directly, but I do love Refn's style. And in Neon Demon, I watched a couple times just because it's about a model in Los Angeles that goes into this descent into hell. So it's sort of, that was something I watched. But I did watch a lot of Refn. I watched a lot of Refn, Abel Ferrara, and Gaspar Noé, and Darren Aronofsky movies while I was writing the script. I was kind of like the blender hodgepodge of my influences on this, and some early Scorsese too.
There seemed to be a lot of, the music is very present in the movie for what I can see. Were you listening to particular stuff while writing the movie?
So basically, since the main character's playing me,
Yeah.
she actually came, like, she hung out with me and realized that she was playing me, and she came to my apartment. Everything she's wearing in the movie is literally my clothes, like my
For
shirts.
real?
Yeah, that I still, she wears this shirt in the movie. Everything is my clothes, and also because, like, because she's me, she just started, I gave her, like, you know, all these albums, go listen to these albums. So all the music in the movie is actually stuff that I just listen to all the time. Some of my favorite bands. We got some of my favorite bands for the movie. You know, I just wanted to kind of make it a complete capsule of my brain on celluloid. And all my friends who watch it are like, this is
you.
This is fucking you got your fucking weird brains on film now. Like,
So you won't kill us in the street?
No.
Okay. So we'll let you go, Joe. Joe Begos for Bliss. Thank you for being with us.
yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. The audience was awesome once the next snap went, and everybody went fucking crazy. That was awesome. I mean, I thought it was too loud, but then as it got into it, it's like, this is like a Ride and Rock concert, you know? Rock and roll, make it fucking loud as hell. So, I don't know. It was awesome. Like, it was everything I expected, everything that everybody had hyped me up to enjoy about this festival. Audience was super into it. They fucking loved it. It was awesome. The place was fucking packed. It's crazy.